And of course, it is always by happenstance that I play these two games on the same day, right? It just incidentally was the series that I wanted to do anyway, and I was doing my whole multiplayer permanent gauntlet, so I play PvZ hard mode, then I play PvZ heroes, obviously, but this is the first time that I've ever seen both categories have 0 in them. So when I went to PvZ, it had 0 to do that, and then when I go to do this, it has 0, although this always has 0, so that's a fucking moot point. The last time I did waste 500 gems, people always tell me not to buy these like this, but you have to realize this is the only way I can get them, because I can't craft anything. I don't know if you can even craft event cards. I thought the whole point was that, like, you have, I don't know, actually, like, you can only get them this way, or it's just not available in packs. Oh, but then you would be able to craft them, never mind. But yeah, I can't craft them, and I can't, I'm never gonna play enough, because I only play once a week for like an hour, so how the fuck am I gonna get enough tickets, you know, from doing the event heroes or bonus heroes or whatever? So we still would have enough for Badman Rising if it did come up, but this is kind of representing my whole love for hexproof and evasive and all these anti-spell, Jinzo, spell canceler type things from all these other card games, even though it's not hexproof or untrickable, because of course there aren't that many untrickable things in the game, unfortunately. That would be one of my favorite mechanics, just to prevent all the tricks and nonsense that people do. Just preventing removal and forcing them to play on the board like a man, all those kind of philosophies I talk about. This doesn't exactly do that, but it kind of still fits into the same idea, so it still discourages them from playing it. Plants can't do bonus attacks. I do like armor, but I'm not going to keep wasting gems on these things, but people say that with everything, especially in the context of, oh, I won't even have to do anything to get back to 500. So I get some anxiety when I'm not at 500 gems, because you want to always have enough, just in case the stupid Badman Rising does come up. So anything new or interesting in here? Obviously, we got to put that little mushroom. Yeah, give me another legendary. It's been a while since I got one. And in fact, some of the recent ones that it always makes you think that's a legendary there too, because it'll say super rare, and then, oh, the next panel is going to be legendary, but it's actually just showing you these stupid deck recipes that even in playing this game so long, I still don't have a single one of them available. That's going to be an Easter themed one. But why do you get that now? Like, this is my badge from, like, last month, but the badge from last month should be something that has to do with Valentine's Day, I guess. Right? And then I don't know. It's like they do it ahead of time a little bit. And for the first time, we had, like, 200 gem quests at the same time. But that's just because I had the same one sitting there for a super long time. So my whole hypothesis is that it only gives you one of these, like, every 2 weeks. I guess, because even when I've done them, then the next time I come to play, which is the next week, or it's such an annoying timing maybe, like if I do it 1 hour before or 1 hour later, it has to be exactly a week later. So because I do this one a little bit earlier, it somehow won't. Does the music ever stop like this? That's weird. Maybe just on the screen, and I'm usually not on the screen for that long. Win 2 games as a zombie hero. Win a game with the Guardian. Okay, none of that would be an issue. I don't even know who can use that sort of fake untrickable, I'll probably call it, because it's kind of like a dream sort of deck that I would want to make with just like all the untrickable, 4 copies of each, and all these kind of things that punish them for playing tricks, but it's just not going to happen. Obviously, Captain Combustible has been the sort of intended star of the show, but hey, he's done pretty good. It's just that's the newest hero, the only new hero that we've gotten, actually. I don't get this, though, because were these, like, 2 separate expansions that both fucking had to do with dinosaurs? It's like they did the set and then the mini set, and then that's all. They did Galactic Gardens, like, so there were 3 expansions in the whole fucking history of the game. Like, what the fuck? And this game does have a light sort of pay-to-win element, although I don't consider it too hard, just in the sense of there are certain things you can only get by buying them, but as far as I know, it's only the kitchen sink zombie, and that's just because somebody told me in, like, a YouTube comment. I wouldn't have known, really, or I don't know where it really says that, because sometimes it says it's exclusive to, I don't know, like, it's exclusive to the event, but even then, you can still craft it, right? Like, you can't get it from packs, but you can get it from some other way. Or like some other special pack that, like those stupid heroes are like that. Technically, that's not a pay-to-win thing because you can buy them from packs with your gems. You're free to play hard-earned gems, but they only come up once in a while, like Huge-Gigantacus or Beta-Carrotina, right? So you wouldn't be able to get it any other way, though. And I don't know that they're really considered to be that much better than... Oh, it was weird. Like, I couldn't exit that screen. I don't know if they're considered, like, really that good. It's just that they're unique, so everybody wants them. Amphibious splash damage 1. I can't really say why that's particularly going to be too good for me, but sometimes I like to use new stuff that I got just for the sake of it. But when played, all amphibious plants get +1/+1. Not too big on that. 5th card, obviously, that is just going to sit there because we don't disenchant it. That little water balloon thing I think is garbage. When a zombie trick is played, do 2 damage to zombie hero. Again, it's not great. You're not going to see a lot of value from it, but it looks pretty badass too, because clearly that should impact my willingness to spend 500 gems. This thing, I don't really ever want to have 4 of the same environment like that. Unless it's the one that like does 2 damage and you're just doing it to troll in the early game so they can't fucking play anything. Because that acts as a short-term and long-term removal. If you feel like, oh yeah, they're just going to summon for the first 4 turns, you're just going to put down those 4 environments on every single space. Or, I guess 3, because you can't do it. That's one thing I almost wish you could do, or there was some card or mechanic that let you do that, or let you put environments even over the water and the little ramp, whatever it's called, the height. So basically, if you do that, then you would remove maybe the benefit of that too. But then I don't know how that would make sense because of amphibious. There was some almost like bug related to amphibious because of that. It's like it had to spawn something in the amphibious zone, but it wasn't amphibious. I can't remember exactly what the interaction was. So it kind of bugged out, where something that's not amphibious and isn't meant to be there is forced to go there anyway. When a so in that case, it should almost just die, but then it doesn't probably want that to happen either. When a plant does a bonus attack, draw a card. I mean, that's good to have just for the sake of it being a 1-mana 2/2. My kind of value. So let's see what... Okay, that's the stupid water balloon, which we also have 5 copies of. This is probably going to be the Sporticus guy. You would think would go with this one. Oh, okay, of course. The guy with the shield doesn't go with the Guardian Hero. What the fuck? So who can use him then? Green Shadow? Make me like Green Shadow even more? Why does that even make sense? What does he have to do with Green Shadow? He's got literally the Guardian fucking thing on his hand. The Walnut on his hand, but he can't be used by Walnut. Makes perfect sense. 10 out of 10. But whatever, I'm still happy to use him either way. We'll go ahead and we'll do both of those. So now we have to consider, what do I want to get rid of? Is a 1-mana 2/2 better, or is a 1-mana 3/1 better, even if it's temporary? Sometimes the 3/1 can be pretty good. Getting very hard to decide what to get rid of in these decks because everything kind of has its place and its purpose. This guy we definitely want to use, so I feel like the repeaters have won me a couple games when you buff them up and stuff. Everything is kind of very good for a purpose, where you want to have at least 1 or 2 of these. I feel like this usually isn't very good. Right, yeah, that one I'll get rid of. The splash damage, I don't think I really benefited from that too much, but the bounce is kind of important because that's like the only kind of thing you have that way. In fact, we don't have any removal at all. Right, you almost forget about that with Green Shadow sometimes because he's so good in so many other ways. Drawing cards is kind of important, but... You know what, I'll take my chances because I don't feel like it gets to that point often enough. But maybe I'm wrong. You would think you'd have to decide between these two, but let's give that a shot. The Green Shadow hasn't been doing so hot lately anyway. The Combustible is going to have what? Oh yeah, it's totally going to be with him that he has the 3/3, which would make no fucking sense. You just think of it as a defensive card for both its effect and its appearance. I'm kind of typecasting the card, class casting the card too much based on its little fucking shield thing. We have 3 of these, which almost seems nonsensical, but this deck was actually working pretty well for its purpose, just being super hyper aggressive. Because you kind of have to commit to doing that if you're going to, you know, just... That's why I got this hero. Because I'm not going to pretend like I have this mid-range control long game sort of style that I can go for. It's just not going to happen. I feel like even having these has been pretty good, but I guess I can afford to get rid of one of them. I don't know. I feel like it's actually been pretty useful to me, though. Alright, now we'll go check out the zombies, which I don't think I got anything really too interesting for them. Kind of the theme of this whole playthrough is just the zombies have gotten cucked in every way imaginable. So this guy is pretty good to have, although I don't know how many. You know what? 2 is probably enough, though, with some of these. And the overshoot guy, we do have 1 of them. This guy has been actually pretty valuable, because if they don't get rid of him early, it punishes the one troll mechanic of the whole game that they don't... that they don't fucking get saved by the block meter. Yeah, that was pretty uneventful from the perspective of the zombies, at least. Although I guess the main excitement for the plants was just the Sporticus thing. Zombie can't be heard this turn. Conjure a history card. That actually isn't bad because, you know, any conjuration effect can make up for your own shitty collection if you just, you know, whatever you get is going to be on average better than what you have in here. But this deck is getting kind of stacked, especially in the late game. You have the 2 legendary nurses. You have the like, this guy has been almost spoiled by me rather than by the game from like getting 2 dark matter dragon fruits from packs like the fucking green shadow, right, where the game is just giving me that outright. But here I've kind of worked to make this guy especially good. We bought 2 of these from the packs. We bought this from the event card, and then we got these also from the same packs. So that's a pretty stacked out middle game at least. Even though by this game standard, that feels more like the late game and almost like Control, but it's just not because it's just not good enough still. Although I don't feel like Control is a thing we ever really even see. That I'm putting there almost in for the fun factor, although getting rid of one of those is almost a stupid idea. So I've made some changes here that might actually be pretty bad, but just for the excitement of new cards. So if I do get another zombie, it's got to be a zombie hero. I mean, if I get another one, but it's going to be a long time before I do that. Or wait a second, I didn't get the gem reward for that, did I? Don't you get one at the beginning of a new season? Like from the pinata? How did I get nothing from that? Because I had 460 going in. What the fuck? But whatever, we will just, as long as we can get 40 very easily here, just because I want to take advantage of the fact that we always want to have that 500 ready to go. And I've been very eager to spend it though still, whenever some moderately interesting event card or something like that comes up. This is not a very good hand in a deck that has mostly low cost minions. What the fuck is that? So here's the trick with this guy, is just ignore what you're doing and ignore what they're doing and just go face the whole time. And that usually works out pretty well. Although I guess here we'll just destroy the guy. That's kind of sad though. We got screwed over pretty hard. Lost in the mulligan like I'm playing Magic the Gathering, where it kind of gives you that fool's gold sense that you can keep doing the mulligan as many times as you want, but you have to give up a card every time to do it. It's not true in most other card games, honestly. Where that kind of surprised me. In fact, the telltale sign of that is when I did it like my first game, where I did it like 7 times in a row and I had like 0 cards left in my hand because I was like, oh, it just lets you do it as much as you want, so why should I care? Oh, here we can do this, and we could even buff it, I guess. So it's not that big of a deal that I'm at a little disadvantage here health-wise, but at some point he's going to burn out of cards too. So it's like I'm doing the Rocky Balboa face tank strategy. The idea that, you know, you're going to burn out of cards before you actually kill me, which is before I'm going to burn out of health, which is actually pretty unlikely to happen, but make him at least worry about my stuff here. He's not that bad, but it depends what he has going forward. And it's kind of deceptive because you can't really think about... You can't really think about the... What do you call it? The ranks here as much, because normally it's like a mismatch rank problem where I'm ranked 10 and I'm playing like a rank 40, so that's kind of unfair. But on the flip side, it's a case where, you know, since the beginning of the season, it's going to... I feel like it bugged out. I feel like it didn't give me actually the gems, or maybe somehow I just didn't earn them by getting to a high enough rank. So I was almost relying on that to help me get back to 500, but it shouldn't really matter too much. Moving a zombie isn't really going to do anything. He actually out-aggroed me, but part of that was just the unfair nature of the fact that I started with so much garbage here. Or I'll still get saved by the stupid block meter, possibly. You'll do 3 to something here. But see, at least the anti-hero I can deal with by just summoning something, so maybe I don't care as much about that. So we still have a chance despite what an awful start that actually was. We summon both of these, we'll be in good shape. Alright, so go ahead, do this to trade in and to block his stupid thing. If he has any kind of removal of his own, I'll be in trouble. But this is how we play anyway, even when we're not going for some sort of pseudo untrickable trash. We're going to... And I really wish it was for Wall Knight, though. That really doesn't make sense. Because I don't need another reason to play Green Shadow when I already have the 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruits. That arguably would have been better just to kill that, but... Or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, that I'm not going to hold against Captain Combustible too strongly because he obviously was in a position where he just got screwed by the fact of the opening. That wasn't his fault. And I even mulliganed like the whole hand too, and it still fucked me over. Gonna get hard stuck at wood rank 1 because Baby Walnut, because... I don't know, this is just how it is sometimes at the beginning of the month. So maybe I'll play this one just for the fun of it, but it's still kind of a little bit too slow paced for my taste. And this guy is so good in terms of his statting, but it never works out because all they have to do is hit me in the face with something else. You would think it's a good card for like a slow paced type of deck because they're trying to absorb damage, but it actually ends up being useless because it just dies too easily without doing anything in return. Iris, you can tap gravestones to see which zombies are hiding in them. That is a very like dynamic effect. What, you can just tap them anytime or what? Just during your turn or once or twice? That seems like a very vague effect. Just like an active thing you can do on the board that isn't simply summoning stuff. In fact, that's the only interactability you'd have like in the whole game that we've ever seen, as far as like you can't choose to attack with stuff, you can't choose to do anything unless you're playing a card. So once it's on the board, it's just completely on rails, which would be normally a mechanic that I hate a lot. Kind of like the Battlegrounds or whatever in Hearthstone. I kind of hate those kind of game modes, or like Marvel Snap. Somehow I like this a little more, where it doesn't feel actually as bad for that. I'm not sure why, actually, even. Like, what would make this so much better? I guess it's sort of a hybrid. The fact that it's not like Battlegrounds, because you actually get to play it like a normal card game where you get to pick your cards and... I don't know. Yeah, see, like, even this is kind of what I was talking about with the Amphibious. He's not an Amphibious goat, yet he's there anyway, and he's still going to trade in, so that makes no sense. I even was asking for what that interaction might have been earlier, and now we get our answer. He's literally breaking the laws of physics here. Jesus goat walking on water. So now we could just do both of these and the history card thing, I guess. Move a plant. Okay, we can do that. We don't need to do the buff. Although it might actually be a good time to do it too, just because you have so much on the board. I'm just going to be enamored. I should just wait. That's kind of a good thing to do on a dead turn sort of play when your hand's getting sort of burnt out or something, which all my decks are kind of susceptible to that. No matter how good value the stuff in there might be, like Green Shadow stuff and whatever, it's like, you know, you can get burned out because I don't really have like a lot of card generation and things like that. That one I should almost move there so he gets killed by the thing. Wait, why? Oh, fuck. Wait a second. I almost feel like that's not really how that's supposed to work. So, I've never really noticed that so directly, where it happens in the exact order that you do them. So if you really wanted to do that, you should have put that guy first, and then that would have happened first. I don't know why I thought they almost trigger at the same time, where it usually doesn't matter. And now we can just do everything. So here's the problem, is that I'm sort of burnt out of my hand, despite the fact of having a decent board. But we do have a lot of cards in here that could help us in that situation, where we're in this sort of top deck, mid-range situation, where I'm just going to top deck a nurse, and then top deck another nurse, and then, you know, get the 2 7s 8 things, and all this kind of crazy crap. Wait, what? Isn't that what I just did? Wait, so it could just keep conjuring itself in an endless loop. What? Escape through time. Is this a bug or is it... What are the chances that you would get 3 of those in a row if it's possible side effects of creation of a temporal paradox? Yeah, I think we just found a temporal paradox. We got the same thing 2 times in a row, and it doesn't say conjure a history card, not this one. That might be a 1 in a trillion interaction. I'll have to play it again next turn to see what the fuck just happened. I swear to God, that's not how it's meant to work based on the card text at least. Of course, I have nothing I can even do, which you sometimes get blocked out by the sheer number of your zombies. Which is the whole irony of not at all how it would work in the actual PvZ game, that you would have, you know, if anybody has team up, it's the zombies, not the plants, because you, I mean, obviously the plants do too, but there's more zombies than there ever are plants out there because they're the ones who come in a horde and quantity over quality. We can basically make all these invincible yet again, even if it's not going to be able to fight back. Is it just going to keep giving me the same thing? It doesn't. What the fuck are the chances of that happening then? I didn't get it 2 times in a row. I got it 3 times in a row. My first time ever playing the card. That is insane, dude. I just hit like a $1 trillion lottery in the stupidest way ever that doesn't actually help me. More unlikely than getting a perfect NCAA bracket or whatever the fuck people say is like one of the least likely things to happen. Amphibious Dino Roar, that's okay with me. We can go like this. Or I should have done that. I'm just so dumbstruck by what just happened there. It almost gaslighted me into believing that that's actually how the card works. That it's meant to do that. Or maybe it didn't spawn it the first time. No, but it did, because the guy had the effect. I thought, like, maybe I thought I played it, but I didn't. But then it had to have, because he was immune, and then he was immune too. I'm so confused. Even getting the same exact thing, it's like unlikely on multiple levels. The fact that it was my first time ever playing the card and that happened, the fact that it happened multiple times in a row. Okay, we should probably win this, but he's got so much shit out there that I don't even know. I'll have to actually watch that back to try to understand what just happened. Sometimes I do stuff like that immediately too, just because... Oh shit. I do have a lot of health at least to go around. I do that just because you may as well spend it while you got it, because you have extra brains from the last turn. But of course, these rank 1 matchups are going to be super competitive, because everybody's just starting the beginning of the season. Although I don't know exactly what day it starts. It does it like at this weird middle of the month phase where it always is deceptive and kind of triggering to me that it feels like it should be at the very beginning of a month. Yeah, see, I love these guys just because of their static. I don't even really care too much that they're amphibious, although that does sometimes help. He's going to get a certain amount of healing out of this. +1/+1 and destroy all plants here. I'm still not dead, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to get the damage through that I really need. And of course we get some of the best defensive sort of... we get some of the best defensive stuff. Problem is we're going to have to put it in such a way that... Or, you know, you could just do it like this, where the frenzy is going to basically save you. And I'm still not going to die because I'll have the block meter. I won't die till like the very end of the sequence at least. Or no, that still won't win me the thing though. Yeah, something there like that's just dinky and weak to try to block this, but he has way too many cards. Like, should you refer to them by their real life gender if you knew what it was, or by the character's gender in the game? That's always an interesting one. You should be saying she if you think it's whatever for Rose purposes. I'm still not dead though, I don't think, because what's going to happen is you're going to still, or no, it's, oh shit. It was the fact that he had the strike through. Then that one would have triggered the block meter, and then that would have gotten me to like 1 HP. See, it's not that our decks are really this bad. We're just getting destroyed because we're whatever. Because we're in this early game phase of the fucking season where everybody is rank 1. For once, we get actually fair matchups, but then they're still not fair because they're only rank 1 because it just started, not because they're actually this bad. But ordinarily, you would get something way off base, like, you know, 20 ranks, 30 ranks higher, or lower even. Although I've never seen that because I've never been over rank 20 anyway, so how would I, you know, face somebody that much lower? We'll get like a -10. Although it still doesn't mean that they actually have to be exactly rank 1. Makes them seem even more like bots than normal, which I'll never believe this game doesn't have bots, because I should put it somewhere else to not make this guy more of a target, because I want to get this Leafy synergy here. But he'll probably still... No, he didn't do anything. He almost has my strategy of just going face. But yeah, just because it's such a popular thing with respect to... it's such a popular thing with respect to the... you know, it takes no time at all to find a Q ever in the game. If you combine that, like, that's a good way to tell whether a game's dead or not, or full of bots. It's like nobody's watching or streaming the game on Twitch. Like, I'm the only one there all the time, or most of the time. It's pretty much a dead category, and yet the game is always so active, and you can always find a Q for a match even quicker than you can in Hearthstone and stuff. So something doesn't add up with that picture. Not saying, and there's not that much content on YouTube or anywhere, it doesn't seem like. So it doesn't mean that's an absolute measure, but it does mean that probably something is still wrong with it. You could play your little thing here. Start of turn. You know, let's just ignore what he's doing and commit to that. So I've been a little bit more face roll today than even usual, but sometimes you can get away with it, especially on Captain Combustible. Maybe on this guy you really shouldn't. I have to hope that I can just bounce that back, and or I guess I could just manually do it. Deadly Strike through Evolution. Not really that crazy, but I guess I should still do it, or maybe I can bide my time and wait. +1 for each sun you made this turn. This is kind of an awkward stat value, if nothing else. So that'll actually give him another buff because of the whole his base effect. This guy normally doesn't stick around for that long either. Or he could just have done the effect to bounce me. But he's too stupid to do it, or he didn't have anything suitable. But now he's going to miss the chance too, because now it's going to evolve and not even work. I guess you can do that just to keep this guy around. That's literally me, by the way. The little glasses nerd emoji or whatever it is. I never know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult. Like, this guy is a glasses emoji. I don't know why glasses are even associated with that either. It's like, is it, oh, you read books so much like back in the day, or you, whatever, you use technology so much that you need glasses because it hurts your eyesight. But realistically, like, glasses don't mean that you're smart or anything. It just means that you have... That should still be more, because it doesn't matter when you play it, right? Yeah. It just means you have trouble seeing. Like, the two have nothing to do with each other, so I don't even get that stereotype. Or it's like the glasses that are in that stereotype is like, oh, you're just wearing bifocals or something to whatever. Like, you're wearing some special kind that's just for strictly nerdy purposes, not... And I never get the chance to actually play this guy when I get him. This is the problem. The worst torture of all, having 2 Dark Matter Dragon Fruits and never being able to play them. Just have to get super lucky with this. Which we do not, wow. Lost to RNG, clearly. I mean, you can still block his dumbass. But I don't see any way we could possibly win this. Or maybe the act of playing the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit could be enough. And it would even kill this, because you could put it like here and then finish it off next turn before he can even do anything. So maybe it's not as hopeless as we see. As it looks. As long as he doesn't summon enough stuff to kill me outright. When played in an environment, destroy a planet with 2 or less. Well, the problem is we'd have to play it here to kill that. But then we're not going to survive because... Or maybe we'll get saved by the block meter too. This will hit me, then this will kill me. Or no, it still won't even kill me. But it would have, if not on account of the block meter. Pretty unfortunate, so we could pull out one of the clutchest wins ever, but he still has too many cards for me to be convinced that that's really going to happen, or we could just use this. It'll hit him for like 18. Or no, wait a sec. Oh, see, this is where the this is where this would have been better. Like, theoretically, if you had buffed it up or whatever, you could have done this, right? And then, if you had done this here, you would have won, because you would have hit his face on the other rows. But this one doesn't do that, because it only does splash damage. Right, it doesn't hit the actual hero. But that's the one way that this is actually better. So we'll trigger the block meter, and then this should kill everything else. But I'm still not really convinced that this is going to be any good. Yeah, literally, if you had the 3-peater, you would have hit him a million times because... I don't know if I should even bother doing that. I don't see what I'm holding it back for now. Like, this would be a beautiful comeback if he doesn't have any direct damage, but I can't even fill all these rows. Or now, actually, I do win because I get the exact interaction I was talking about. If nothing else, just to clear out the row of everything, too. Right, so if I do this here, you'll hit him for... Oh, shit. But no, it'll still obviously do it. This is just one of the most crazy interactions. Oh, no. Wait a second. Are you serious though that I might lose because of that? Because it's gonna be a case where I don't even understand. Like, he gets the one thing that can possibly stop me from doing this with the 3-peater when I'm extolling its virtues. It's -3. Of course, he's fighting against the whole untrick. I mean, see, even this kind of complements my whole idea of like, you have stuff that technically isn't untrickable, but still does punishing tricks. So between that and the mushroom, we have at least something coming together with respect to the... Are you serious, bro? No, but that should still... Wow, that would have been like the clutchest win ever, though. But he got saved by the stupid-ass gravestone thing at the end there. Wow, we're getting actually farmed today. Will I ever complete a structure deck in the whole history of playing this game, or in my whole time playing this game? Because I still don't think any of those are actually filled up all the way. Or, like, for any of the heroes starting decks that it's showing you. 30 out of 40. Or, like, will we ever get a hero from a actual pack? Because I've only gotten one, and it's just... deliberately. Or will I ever get a zombie legendary from a pack? All these things that I haven't done in the whole course of playing this game, because the only 2 that I have are from the same guaranteed sort of pack situation, which I got at like 2 different times though, I think, because I wouldn't have had enough to blow on it otherwise. That's so random. My bitrate suddenly got destroyed in the middle of doing this. He can't handle these clutch plays that guy just made. But that whole game was just epic clutch back and forth. Let's do one more zombies just to make it an even 2-2 thing. Of course, we were never able to finish the fucking daily quest in time. Oh, did I not even put the thing back on? No, I did. It's just being slow. Let's see. 2, 3, 3. Captain Combustible got really fucked over, though, at the beginning. Yeah, even he has an event card, so we sort of tried to spoil the zombies with those a little bit, just to make up for the lack of... you know, good quality cards that we gotten with the other ones, or with the plans. Okay, finally somebody over rank 1. Maybe that means he's actually played a bit more, and this is actually where he belongs. Or he could be on it, try hard on his way to rank 50. I hate the fact that people always say you can hack the game for cards so easily. Like, I'm not the type to want to do that anyway. I like the whole progression and and building up, and part of the whole fun of this is to kind of just see what we get, almost like a Nuzlocke run. If you know, whatever you get is what you have to deal with. You can't just, I guess Nuzlocke would be, though, if one of these minions dies, then I can never use it again, but then there's not enough cards in the game to even make that possible. We should do that one day with a card game, though, like a permadeath card run, where you have to, if a card dies, you can never use it again. Or you can make maybe like multiple copies, but each one has like its own life. But that could be its whole fun own format. Permadeath minions card game. And it would have to be a game like Magic or something with an insane number of them in there, because otherwise, so then you kind of have to make the best of what you have, and you can't always build it optimally, or you have to almost manage the fact. That could be fun in like an event. Like you go through an event, almost like a draft type of environment, and you have to, you know, you have X number of cards, and if they're killed at any point, or if they're used at any point, you cannot use them again. So even like your spells and stuff, you can only use one of each kind. You have to like almost hold stuff back or whatever. You might just roll this guy over pretty quickly. This guy wants to play 2 games, Infinity, which I guess I will if it ends this quickly. That's still fine. It'll kill you with the deadly, and it wouldn't even kill mine still. That was the most inefficient, worst possible play. This is like a paid actor that we had here just to make us look good. We still won't win, or actually we will. His death, or that makes it seem like his little death rattle there. But that's just the act of him giving the card. Okay, that was pretty good. Will we get to our coveted 500? Not that it's that big of a deal, but we would have had to if we get to fucking rank 2 at least, maybe. We would have had to if it happened to be Bad Moon Rising. Like, we've been playing this for almost a year, so it's not possible that we could have missed. You know what? I'll even keep that, because sometimes that can be a clutch winner at the end. We should almost have seen a full rotation of every event card in the game, and so therefore Bad Moon Rising should come up again. I can't believe how big of a deal that's been, though. Like, I even said, oh, surely there must be other good cards that I would want or something else, but it's such a game-changing, important card that you basically just have to have it. Okay, that's a pretty good, efficient combo, and of course what you get from that is almost always going to be good. This guy's name is such a awkward one that it doesn't even fit on the fucking thing. It should like shrink the text down a little bit, but it kind of goes off the side. Oh yeah, this guy's clearly not a bot, because everybody would use that. Although I guess it's the optimal time to use it if you know, want to trade into a 1-1, but still, why would you even have that in your deck? He's doing some sort of bean troll thing, like what I was trying to do with that Admiral Bean guy. Oh, here we go. That's the one that we didn't get to see on my side. We're continuing the trend of damn, his animations are pretty cool too. That's what this game really does very well, although I guess it's easy enough to do when you only have so few cards. Like the whole art design and the animations and the way the minions look on the board and stuff is pretty awesome. Even just their movements back and forth and stuff. You barely get that like in Hearthstone with the moving heroes, let alone the moving cards. Or I guess you have to get like a golden version of it or something, but of course that'll damage me, but I'm okay with that. I guess I'll just let that guy stick around for now. I don't know why I even did that. Yeah, we get to see him in some form, because that kind of continues the trend of whenever I get something new or cool, I never get to play it right away. It takes me sometimes like several episodes, and I won't even blame it just on how short they are sometimes. It's just like, I'll have the chance, but I'll lose or I'll win even before. So then sometimes I'll even throw a game a little bit just to try to, oh, I was going to win, but I want to drag it out just so I can get a chance to play something. Like when I got the Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, I didn't get to play it. When I got Sargeras, I didn't get to play him. In Hearthstone, when I get any of these kind of things. Look at him actually being the MVP of this shit, too. I mean, he's just lasting this shit out like a champ. But I may as well do it like this just to try to... Don't want to play something big just yet. If I can ever get rid of this fucking clown. Look at him commit to it, too. He spent his 500 gems on it last week, like me, like a clown that I am. And he really wants to make it pay. I'm still okay with it. This is his ace card in this whole fucking deck. He likes it even more than I do. But we're still fine with that, because guess what we can do? We can flip it back and do it all over again, rather than actually just kill him. Look at how much he committed to it, though. He's not going to have any buffs to keep it alive. I mean, look, dude. How are you going to keep... You know what, dude? But there's nothing else for me to play with it, and that value is kind of bugged out. We'll just flip it back. Fuck it. Let him do it over again, but I won't... And that'll actually trigger my block meter, too. But he just has random shit in there, obviously. Look at his commit, though, bro. I have to respect that. Seems like the kind of thing I would almost do or like to do, but unfortunately, removal exists. Okay, we'll do this, and it doesn't mean that we're still guaranteed to win or anything, but that often does catch them off guard, because there's really nothing they can do about it. And now when he does summon that, it won't be very good. Make a random history zombie in a random lane, and of course it'll be the same one like 3 times in a fucking row, just because of what we saw with that history card. I'll have to look back at that moment, actually. That seemed insane, just that we got the same thing seemingly 3 times in a row. Or I guess 2 times in a row, because obviously you're playing it in the first place. Look at the way that he's treated this guy, though. Am I actually gonna... What the fuck, dude? I have to respect his commitment to that guy. I knew that giving him... Like, the way that he buffed there was fucking insane. He had, like, more buffs than even my Green Shadow deck, where I'm always enamored with trying to buff the repeaters and stuff. One of the first really cool interactions we got to do in this game. But yeah, what was that card called? The stupid, whatever, 2-cost history thing for the Smash. That's kind of an okay addition of a card. We didn't get to play the Mushroom guy, obviously. Zombie can't be hurt this turn, conjure a history card. And again, it could be the same one, but what are the chances it would be in multiple times in a row? Or let me actually correct myself. Maybe it wasn't that good of a luck scenario like I was saying, because this game only has like 100 fucking cards, or whatever, 400 cards or something. And of them, how many of them could actually be history cards? Let's actually look. Like... And how many could be... Well, I guess it says history overall. It wouldn't have to be one that applies to your class. I guess it's only drawing from a pool of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, something like that. So it's not as unlikely then, but it's still pretty crazy. It's, again, I'm especially placing emphasis on the fact that it was my first time ever playing it. Yeah, hard stuck at rank 1 here. But again, those were at least some competitive matchups. And that one with Green Shadow was almost the clutchest thing ever, right? With the fucking